Next, our series on financial planning in an austere economy. I'm pretty sure many of us, individuals and businesses, have set goals for this year. And while that is important, you need a strategy during these uncertain times and very difficult times to manage your finances and meet those goals. Well, yesterday we began a conversation on financial planning, why it is important and what to consider when drawing a plan. You've heard people say, Accra stay by plan. Well, this afternoon we have help. Randolph Ano, Associate Director, Accounting Advisory Services of KPMG. He joins me in studio again to discuss this. Happy that you joined us again after yesterday's discussion. So we talked a lot about drawing a financial plan, but I guess that the real test comes when you have to manage your finances, right? So what does management entail, managing your finances?
Okay, so in terms of managing the finances, usually you have 5 A's, okay, for financial management. You're looking at anticipation, where you are anticipating your needs. All right, we all do have financial needs, so anticipate the needs. Then you go through a process of acquisition, acquiring the funds to address those needs. So once that is done, then you are looking at allocation. How do you allocate the funds you've acquired to the needs that you've identified? Then after you've allocated these needs and the rest, there could have been some surpluses, so you go through what in finance we call appropriation. How do you appropriate the excesses? Then now you go through a process of assessment. You continue to check to ensure whether where you started from, you are achieving those objectives or not. So typically, these 5 activities are what one will go through to effectively manage your finances or your financial management. So these 5 steps or activities are what one...
That looks like a lot of organization for somebody like me who doesn't have the time to sit down and do the appropriation and all of that. It looks like it requires a lot, does it?
The thing is, if you don't do it, if you don't do it, then you are putting yourself in a situation where you may not know how things are happening to you.
Yeah, well, so yes, I say that because it appears to be a bad habit, if you like. People don't really like to sit down and put down notes, papers, try to, organize their finances.
Yeah. But thankfully, these days, there's technology.
Okay.
You go to the Play Store, not to mention any particular app, but there are several apps that can help you to track these things. It's a discipline, all right? And in this time when we want to undertake financial planning, you need to be deliberate and intentional about it. So it requires some effort, all right? So definitely, it is not something easy that comes to us. For businesses, you have no choice. If you are running your affairs well, you may have a system that is doing this for you. But for individuals, you need to decide that you actually want to track stuff and, put in a system that can help you to do that, whether you have an app or you on a daily basis will try to record it somewhere or on a weekly basis, but you must have some sort of a system that helps you to do that.
Well, it will be interesting to even note that some businesses, especially the small ones, do not have such a system in place, and then they are caught in a hard place.
Yes.
Yeah, and you mentioned discipline, which I feel is a very important word when we talk about managing our finances. How can one maintain discipline? What would be required of the person in that sense?
Okay, so in terms of maintaining, it's first and foremost, I think that you need to decide that this is what I want to do. And why are you making that decision? You are making that decision because ultimately it will help you. It will make you better. All right? We say that no pain, no gain. All right? People that go to the gym, I'm a bit skinny. If I want to develop muscle, I need to push in the weight, all right, so that I can build some muscle. So you want to structure your affairs. There is no other way. You need to decide that this is the way, and you need to decide that I will do that. You understand? Otherwise, the goals will not be achieved. You will not be able to achieve those goals. So it is intentional. You have to be intentional about it. You have to decide that you want to do it, and you have to, apply the needed effort to help you do that.
Okay. And one of the things to consider in managing your finances is the risk involved.
Sure.
Can you tell us more about risk management in financial planning?
So the whole act of financial planning, I would say, is something that you are doing to help you to mitigate risk. You know, risk management is you identifying the sort of things that may go wrong. So financially, when you're undertaking financial planning, you are identifying for yourself financially the what ifs or the things that can go wrong. So if I go on retirement, will I be okay? If I lose my job today, will I be okay? You have a debt. Are you able to service it? So your understanding of risk management will help you to identify clearly all your financial risks. And then in the planning, you put in the measures to address those risks. You know, so risk management is essential and very critical when it comes to financial planning. If you do it well, you may be able to identify all your financial risks and put in the needed measures to address those risks. So it is super important. That whole exercise itself, I would say, is part of the process of mitigating your risk, which is a key fact when we talk about risk management. You identify your risk, you need to assess the risk, you need to put in mitigation measures and stuff like that. So it is super important.
And I guess people try to avoid risks, and that's why sometimes they would not want to invest. We've seen a lot happen in the financial space over the years, especially here in our country. I don't want to mention any names, but people have put their money somewhere and they've ended up regretting. And so as we talk about risks, we also want to talk about investing and why it's important despite the risks, and where do you invest that is risk-free?
Okay, so we know typically we would say that the risk-free investment is a government treasury, so the treasury rate. But so that is in finance and all over the world. We know the government, come what may, will fulfill or will pay. So that is the most risk-free investment that one can talk of. But in these times, as you indicated, you cannot say that things are, because of the way things are happening, you would not invest. Because mind you, your 1 cedi today will not be the same tomorrow because of the time value of money. All right, so you need to be careful when you want to invest. You need to do due diligence, which is part of risk management. Where do you want to invest? You know, you just don't up and say you are going to invest. So you need to conduct some due diligence to understand where you want to put your money.
Right.
Is the entity credible? So you need to do some work. And if you are not too sure, that is why you have experts. So consult the expert, consult the professionals who do this for a living, so at least they can guard your money for you. So yeah.
Yeah, you're one of those professionals. So if I've got money, where should I put it right now?
I wouldn't want to, and that is what I'm saying, consult the professionals, okay? It's because a lot of things goes into an investment. What is your aptitude for risk? Investment, you take on some risk and you get a return, all right? So it's on a case-by-case basis. You, that individual, what is your aptitude for risk? And one needs to understand all of that to advise you and to say, okay, maybe put your money here, put your money there. I'm not going to say to market any entity.
Of
okay,
course.
yeah, but do your due diligence. All right, there are a lot of write-ups out there. If you you carefully go through online and the rest, wherever you want to place your money, you can get some credible information to help you to decide, you know, whether through the banks or other institutions that you can invest with.
Okay, and we usually hear people say it's during these times that it is best to invest. I want to touch on savings as well, because enjoying your financial plan, I'm sure people would like to set aside some money, save some money. What advice do you have when it comes to savings?
Yeah, so it is, we save for a rainy day, all right? And so in these times, you need to save. But even as you plan to save, because if you just save and just put your money there, or put it in a piggy bank in the house, or just leave it in an account that does not return anything for you, you are actually losing because economic conditions are not staying the same. All right, so your real purchasing power will go down.
Okay.
Right, so by all means save, but don't allow the money to lie idle. Find something to put that money in. If you don't save, you can't invest. So it is a step for you to invest in because that's what you take to go and invest.
We need to end the last words, 15 seconds. Anything you want to say?
So in this year, as we said from the beginning, we say Accra stay by plan. I would say in austerity, stay by plan, so you can navigate these difficult times.
In austerity, stay by plan. Thank you so much, Randolph Ano, for joining us, have this important conversation. I don't know if we're going to see you anytime soon, but we'll certainly keep in touch. And thanks for watching The Marketplace. My name is Darryl Kwao. We leave you